Last time we talked about innate intelligence. Do you guys remember innate intelligence? It's the intelligence, the wisdom within you, within your body that built you. It took one cell, created an entire human being out of that cell by using the notochord, the primitive notochord, the primitive spinal cord and brain, and created an entire human being by sending and receiving 600, there it is, 600 octillion messages per second back and forth through the spinal cord and nervous system. Incredible, incredible process. Now that innate intelligence did not abandon you at birth. It's still there. It's still within you. It's still running the show. It's in control of every aspect of your existence, and we need to honor it. We need to know it's there and it's working. So we're going to take it one step further here, and we're going to start deep diving into this amazing thing called chiropractic. So when we're talking about the innate intelligence within you, it's in your brain, but more specifically, it's in your brain stem. Now, this is a brain over here. If you can't tell, this is the front. That's why there's eyeballs there. This is the back. That's the cerebellum right there. And then right here is something called the brain stem. And it's just this small chunk right there. The brain stem is the seat. It's the throne room for your innate intelligence. This is the part that controls everything in your body. That big part of your brain is computational power. The brain stem right here is the part that controls everything in your body. And it's super important that you know this. Right at the very top of your spine, right below the base of your skull, is a bone called C1, your first cervical vertebrae. We call it Atlas. Here it is. There it is. Atlas. It's named after the Greek mythological character Atlas that holds the world on his back. And the reason is because this guy right here holds your world on its back. It holds your brain. It's the gateway between your brain and your body. Okay? And this atlas, I'm going to draw it up here, is right here. It sits right there at an angle, just like I drew it. And it's incredibly important because if I take this atlas and I turn it this way from a bird's eye perspective, you see that big hole? There it is. Big hole in there. Your brainstem sits in that hole. Okay, this protects your brainstem. Now this atlas, unfortunately, is not terribly secure in this area here. It's not held in place by a lot of bony tissue like the rest of your spine. It's really susceptible to injury. And what happens is it can rock side to side and it can become misaligned. Remember, subluxation of the spine, bone out of place, restricted in motion, causing dysfunction of the nervous system. And if it's out of place by even 1 millimeter, it is going to put mechanical pressure on the brainstem. And when we put mechanical pressure on the brainstem, this is when we start to have neurological problems throughout the body. And there's an infinite number of things that can show up. I can't even give you a list. It's literally any aspect of your function, of your body, of your existence. However, there are things that we look for. A lot of you know that I do a technique called Atlas Orthogonal, which is an upper cervical. We work with the atlas, trying to align it properly and get it set properly. So some of the things that I'm looking for when I'm evaluating for misalignment of atlas are these, and you can check these at home. The first thing is if we have a atlas that rocks like a boat and gets stuck, we're going to see the head tilting to the side. And all you need to do is look at the earlobes. If you have one earlobe that's higher than the other, that's a good indicator that the atlas is misaligned. Now we'll also see postural abnormalities as a result of an atlas misalignment, one of which would be the shoulder pulls up on one side. We get a tightening of the muscle tissue that pulls up on one side. It creates a pain pattern, a referral trigger point back in that shoulder blade back there. So you can have chronic shoulder blade pain, which is really painful, by the way. Now you can hit that with ice and heat and lotions and potions, and you can use your Theragun on that over and over and over again, which might help feel better. But if it's returning and returning, that's a really good indicator that, again, we have a neurological pathology. It's not muscular. It is neurological that's making that happen. And another thing that we'll see is a high hip. I know you can't see it, but the hip on one side would pull high. And this can result in low back pain. It can result in sciatic pain. A lot of times, sciatic problems are not stemming from the lower back. They're starting from up here because of a neurological pathology that we have that's distorting our postural muscles. So I check for these things when I'm looking for an atlas misalignment, atlas subluxation, so that we can correct that, because we can continue to work on all these other parts of the body, but until the source of the problem is corrected, they're not going to go away, and it's incredibly important. Okay, so what we say is ADIO, I have it right up here, that health comes from above down, inside out. This is how your body was built. It's how health happens in your body, from above down, from brain down through the spinal cord, out through the nerves, out to the body. ADIO is a chiropractic term that we use quite often. Health comes from above down, inside out. The power that built you is the power that heals you. So listen, over the past year and a half, I have been pursuing my Diplomate and Atlas Orthogonal chiropractic technique. Early this coming year, 2024, I will be completing that. The more that I do this technique in the office, the more I realize that most people, if not everybody, need it. If you suspect that this might be an issue with you and we have not currently addressed this properly for you, please bring it up to me at your next visit. And further, I will be making sure that I pursue this as well in the office. If I feel that you need this technique, we will discuss it as well in the office. Okay. So as always, I hope this was really helpful for you. It's really cool stuff. It's a lot of fun, and it's amazing when you get that atlas set and you can see how people improve their health. And I will see you all in the office. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.